Hello everyone, I am Rebecca from Rebecca's Beautiful ASMR Addiction. I'm gonna make some soup, wood soup. This is a request fulfillment. We've got our two sized wooden spoons, one for stirring and one for ladling. Now, first things first is we need some water, some base. That looks like enough water, I would say. No seasonings yet. And in fact, this soup will have only the flavors that come from the things we put in it. No seasonings. We have first our little slices of wood. This is pine. These are little pine circles, and this should give our soup a very woody pine flavor. All different sizes here. Some are going to sink, some are going to float. But the main thing is that the flavor of the pine comes through. Flavor and the fragrance, of course. That's good for now. Let's try something else. It would not be autumn soup without acorns, right? The acorns are on the ground all over the place where I live in Susanville. Tis the time and the season for the acorns to fall off the tree. I've been collecting some of the shells as well because I like to make whistles out of them. I love these bowls, they're so cute. Alright, now let's give that a bit of a stir. Mix that right in there. Of course, our base, the very beginning base of our soup, is the fall leaves on the bottom of the bowl. Now, we must have woody cinnamon sticks, right? Yes. These smell so wonderful. dust pine is going to be just a wonderful mixture of flavors. Let's throw those little pieces in there too. Added seasoning. Okay. Give that a stir. Starting to look pretty. Okay, our next ingredient. We are going to add hazelnuts. Have you ever had hazelnut flavored coffee? Well, these are wonderful nuts and a must for autumnal wood soup. You divide that up all over the place, but of course we'll give it a stir as well. No crumbs in that one. Kind of dribble some broth over the other pieces in here. Need to make sure that everything gets immersed and evenly flavored, as each item has such a nice flavor of its own, and they mix so well. Okay, next ingredient. Let's add the horse chestnuts. Now these have just the most unusual flavor, and they should not be eaten whole. They should not. Just the taste of it shall be eventually removed, but not in this video. I remember finding these chestnuts in a creek in Tennessee. I've saved them all this time for such a special occasion. And I have many more as well. But this is all I want in our soup today. They're very big, they're very dark. Now we must have our favorite fall fruit, apples. We have some mini Macintosh. What do you call the green or Granny Smith? That's right. We've got Granny Smith, Yellow Delicious, and Macintosh. Now all those wonderful apple flavors in here with the cinnamon and the pine. Oh my word. And you know the wonderful fragrance of fall leaves. So with that as our base in the bottom, it's going to be so nice. Well, we're going to have a little bit of green left over. We are going to put our Granny Smiths off to the side. Okay then, just give this a stir. My, this is smelling and looking so good to me. I'm really glad that I got this request because I have always wanted to do this. This is my first time making wood soup, but fall seems like the perfect time to do it. Here are some walnuts. Of course, we have to have walnuts in here. You know, fall really is the time for harvest. And it's such a wonderful season for that reason, as well as the wonderful weather and the beauty of falling leaves and the romance of things withering and dying to make way for winter. But harvesting is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, let's give this another stir. The stirring of fall, the stirring of autumn, the stirring of our emotions, the wonderment of the reds, greens, and golds. I love. Let's add just a little bit more piney wood pieces. Can't get too much of that flavor. And that's it. The thing that piques an appetite for food is smelling it. Before you get there, when you smell food, it gets your glands and your tongue ready to taste food. And there is nothing so heady as pine and cinnamon. But this is such a wonderful, wonderful fragrance in the fall. Is these leaves that have fallen off the tree. We have maple. We have oak. We have alder. There are many kinds of leaves And you know that smell? Almost like when you go to a creek and you smell that swampy kind of smell. It's hard to explain, but I think you know what I mean. The smell of fall leaves in piles and bunches. That's what these smell like. And it's a wonderful addition to our fall soup. Autumnal soup. Now, we have to add our little baby leaves. These little baby maples are going to just be that little spice that adds the finishing touch to our wood soup. If I can get them to stay in the bowl. They're so light, they bounce off and away of our other ingredients. And isn't that just the nature of wood? Wood. Our woody autumnal soup. Okay, now I think we're done with that. Isn't that pretty and appetizing? Alright, this is our time of stirring and simmering. We gotta get this all underwater into the mix. Doesn't that look yummy? Little bit of apple, little bit of hazelnut. Let's get them all wet. Move them around a little bit. Looks like we got a little bit of green, more on one side than the other. Let's move it around a little bit. We want all the flavors to evenly disperse. Let's talk about our dreams during fall. Let's talk about the romance of the fragrance that we smell here in this soup and just in our everyday that we spend in the autumn. I am a super romantic person, and when the fall weather comes, one of the very first things that I feel is just an incredible relief that the heat is over. Now, many of you probably don't experience, but many of you do experience the very hot heat of the summer. And being as severe as it can be, we look forward to fall because it gets cool. And those first fresh breezes that blow, first thing I feel is relief. And when the breeze blows my wind chimes, it's music. When the breeze picks up the tendrils of hair from the side of my face and tickles my cheek with my hair strands, I feel like I'm one with nature and one with God. That's what happens to me. And then we think about the fact that fall and autumn are really a season of death. Not a morbid death, but the kind of death that brings new life. As each leaf drops from the tree in its beautiful, splendorous giving up of its life, we know that it's making room for the new life. And we anticipate that the winter is going to come and freeze the earth. There's just this one 3-month season after fall that suspends the life of nature and growth. Not all nature, because obviously some trees and some bushes are evergreen. But even the evergreens have to shed their old growth to make room for new. But they just don't have everything die off all at once, so it's very interesting. And I have the pine needles all over my patio to prove it. Oh, good. So many pine needles, and they do fall, and they do shed all year long. So everything that grows regenerates, and at some point will die. It is a cycle of life. But during harvest time here, we get to pluck out the beautiful things that nature has to give. And it creates sustenance for us. It's a beautiful thing. A great statement. An allegory of life in so many ways. But here's what is fascinating to me. Is that upon the dying days of these trees, these leaves, they will give one last beautiful show of their beauty. They turn red, and they turn gold, and they turn rust, and they turn burgundy, and they turn all this array of beautiful colors. How does that happen? And why would it be like that? Very different from spring. New growth does have those same colors, but they're not for the same reason. And they're not, I don't know, when a flower dies, think about when a flower dies, it really just wilts and turns brown. And that's during the summertime or shortly after. But the leaves of trees are splendid. I forgot to mention peach. Some leaves turn orange and peach colored. So amazing, so amazing. What are the things about fall are so romantic? Stoking up the fires, having your first whiff of that smell of wood fire. It's wearing sweaters, cozy sweaters. It's sipping on cider and having warm drinks. What else? Of course, all these things are good for winter too, but you should smell this soup. You should smell this soup. It's wonderful, wonderful. If we disperse this often enough, and this simmers as long as we let it, all the full-bodied flavors will come out. That over there. And let's put it back in there. I am not ready to serve anything up yet, but we will. We are going to have enough for, say, 5 people, I think. We shall see. Now, let us remove these and place them in a smaller bowl. Okay, we need this bigger one for a serving. Just give this a little wipe. The damp cloth there. And let's do the same with this. Put it in a smaller bowl for These ingredients are very clean and fresh. Just a little bit. Okay. Let's begin with this bowl, and we will give a nice, generous serving to our first individual. We need to get the perfect bite by putting just a little bit of everything in a serving. Let's start with trying to get some of these pine pieces because that's a wonderful flavor. Okay. A lot of those have fallen to the bottom because they are absorbing the water very well. So we've got some apples, a hazelnut and a horse chestnut, and a walnut. Got the cinnamon in there. What are we missing here? Anything? Let's see. There's another hazelnut. Wait a second. Red apple, that's right. I think that's complete. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe a little more broth and some leaves. Okay, bowl number 1. Bon appetit. Let's serve up the second individual's bowl. Here we have some green apple, walnut, red apple, see if I can get some pine slices in there. Come on. See, they've all settled to the bottom, and it's not easy to get them up. Come on. Come on. There we go. Nice spoonful. Cinnamon and pine. There we go. And some leaves and hazelnut. You have to make sure you get the perfect bite. And there's our horse chestnuts. More cinnamon. That's complete. Let's just set this down over here. Individual number 2. Now serving. Alright, horse chestnut and a walnut. And a hazelnut. And we need some pine in there. There's a couple pieces there. And some leaves, fall leaves. Okay, yellow apple. Yellow delicious. Yellow delicious apple. And a Macintosh. And a Granny Smith. And another hazelnut. There we go. That's looking pretty full bodied. serving individual 3. Well, we might as well fill up the smaller bowls too. Let's go ahead and just see how much we've got here. Yes, we can fill up a few more bowls. All this pine that is at the bottom, it will make the soup taste too strong towards the end, so we need to get them off. Here we go. I got some right there. Fish out a little bit more here. Use my fingers to get these. There, now that's going to make those bowls full of the just right amount of flavor. See how difficult this is to get these pine. I don't want to lift out just one little piece. I want to have a few at a time. Those sneaky little devils. Got 'em. I got a few. Let's use my fingers. Oh, now I just let them all go. There we go. We got them back. Alright, now each of these bowls have just the right amount. Now, I think we are ready to fill up the rest of the bowls. I think that before I serve the rest of this soup, maybe I should have a taste. Maybe I should try it. Okay. Here's a taste of the broth. That is wonderful. Oh my word. Another taste. I wonder if that's why they call it soup, because when you eat it, you sloop. One more. Oh, that is so good, you guys. So good. Wow. I will fill the rest of these bowls then because it's so good. Sloopy soup. Sloopy soup. Okay. Let's use the big ladle and finish serving up. I know I keep saying I'm going to do it, but these sounds are so wonderful. Alright, now these bowls being smaller, we're not going to be able to fit in the perfect bite necessarily, but we'll try. Get an apple and a hazelnut and a walnut in there. Let's see, how about, what can we fit? Let's get an acorn and an apple. Can we fit another apple? Yes. That is a full bowl there. That is really full. But that's still good. That's very good. This one will have a horse chestnut in it. And a piece of cinnamon need to go in that one. Oh, we need to get a cinnamon in this one too. We got apple, hazelnut. Probably won't fit a walnut in that one. And we have a red apple. Gotta get a yellow apple. Let's get some pine in there. Need some pine, little piney rounds. Come on, little piney round. Cinnamon. That's good enough. Okay. Each little bowl could have a large nut, either a horse chestnut or a walnut. I don't think we can fit both. Okay, this one. Have a walnut. And an acorn and a hazelnut. And an apple. Granny Smith. And a Macintosh. Here's our cinnamon stick. And let's see, another acorn, some fall leaves. Okay. Don't they tinkle? Just like little wooden wind chimes. We only have one bowl left. We needed to make sure we got our pine in there. Okay. Let's start with a bit of cinnamon, but we need to get some pine in there too. Okay. This is the walnut bowl. Okay. With the Granny Smith. And an acorn. And we have a yellow delicious. Looks like we're out of our Macintosh apples. But we will add an extra nut, acorn, and nut. Some fall leaves. Gotta try to get some pine in there. Ooh, we fit 2 nuts in that one. I'm amazed. Alright, let's just leave good enough alone because that's all we've got. There is some lots of broth in here left over. And when someone is done eating the main pieces of their soup, or just a couple, you could add more broth back in. It may be more than what anybody wants in their soup, but I just can't let all that go to waste. Let's add it to this bowl. Let's get more pine in here and leaves. Add it to that one. This is some chunky soup, you guys. It's going to be more like stew, which means I have to use the broth for something else. Well, all we have left here are some little bits and pieces. Should we try to get any more out? I don't know. Here's a nut. Let's put it there. There we go. And cinnamon stick there. All these last little pieces. It shall not go to waste. I promise. Cinnamon stick over there. Isn't that pretty still? So pretty. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this time with me making wood soup, and that you're having a beautiful autumn season. Much love to you all, and we'll see you in the next